What's going on, y'all? Check me out here, and in front of me, I have the new iMac, or the new M1 iMac 24-inch. And I got mine in yellow because that's the theme that I'm going with in my office. But I'm super excited. I got this in a couple of days ago, and I could have unboxed it solo, but I wanted to do it with you. So I'm not gonna give you a long intro because I'm ready to get in this box. Let's get into it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma.
Let me just use my she-woman strength on this, which is probably totally unnecessary. And it is. I forgot this is the part that I can just pull up like this. Oh, it's even simpler. There's a pull tab. Oh my gosh. All right. Ooh, and it even has a yellow handle. Get into the details. This is so much nicer than the old iMac boxes. So the iMac model I went with, in terms of specs, I'm gonna throw on screen, but in essence, I got 16 gigs of memory and 1 terabyte of storage. I really debated if I wanted to get more than a terabyte, but thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Crucial, they helped me make that decision a little bit easier thanks to their external hard drives, which I'm gonna get to later because ultimately, this is my second computer. I got a M1 13-inch, will be what I take with me when I travel. And this beauty will be with me at home because I do plan on starting a Nintendo Switch gaming channel. Stay tuned for details on that. And some other projects, and I want to be able to have a stationary setup for it. I get it. This is showing the back of the box, the back of the iMac. Apple, you! The front of the box, the front of the iMac. When you take a moment to be present, you notice things. So let's open the wings here, follow these arrows and open it up, and then this kind of pops up. Oh God, Jesus. Let me lay this down. In the past, the bottom of the iMac was here, so it's interesting that it's upside down now. So let's be safe, let's lay this down. We've already had enough close calls. Oh, it's light. So inside here, we have all of our additional accessories. So we got the new keyboard in yellow with the white back. Okay, a little Touch ID up in the corner. I think it still charges via Lightning. USB-C would have been nice, but it's super light, super small. Then we have our braided, what is this? Lightning to USB-C cable. I like this. This is like a very soft yellow. And we have the power cable, which is also braided and in yellow. And it magnetically attaches into the back of the computer. So this is nice. And we have an Ethernet port on the actual power brick. That's something new. We got some paperwork. Ooh, I like. And some yellow Apple stickers. I just love the attention to color here. Then we have our mouse. It's white along the top, yellow along the bottom. Everything is just color matched so nicely. And what else do I have? The other half of the power cable here. And I wanna say that's all, folks. You know when stuff has like these big bulky areas to it, it makes you feel like there's something else in there, and there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Like it looks like a box, so you think there's something else in there, but really it's just, we're just gonna get to this iMac. I feel like I'm not making sense. Take this top cover off. Oh, that's so satisfying. Like Rice Krispie treats. Usually I do not care for that, but something about this made it a little special. Oh, I love how thin this is. It looks like it's, I just want to break this, don't I? This looks so playful. It looks like a computer that you want to interact with. It looks like an art piece. It's just about as thin as my phone. Apple, you did it. You might have done it. We're gonna test this out and see. But ultimately, I did do a video about the M1 iMac in reference to what's different and all of that. I'm gonna throw that somewhere up in here. So we do have a webcam up here, which is supposed to be better. We also have 4 Thunderbolt ports back here, I believe, or USB-C ports. We have 4 ports back here. No SD card slot, which is, you know, neither here nor there. We'll figure out life. Like I said, the cord magnetically goes in here. Wow. Oh, wow. That's a strong hold. So if you were concerned about this getting yanked by accident, like I'm using a lot of force. You can see the veins in my hand to know that some strength is being applied here and it's not budging. So wait, how do you, whew, you gotta use a lot of force to pull that out. Cause I know when I was hearing that it magnetically snaps, I thought the force would be similar to that of MagSafe, where it had enough force, but you could also kind of semi-easily pull it out. But this, that's strong. Let's get into the details because it has different shades of yellow. It's not a uniformed yellow, and it's actually more golden orange for certain parts of it. Like this looks more gold, the base. The back is more orange yellow. The Apple logo is more of a pastel yellow to me. And the front more so matches the Apple logo, but still a bit of a brighter yellow and more of a pastel yellow, kind of Easter vibes. We got the white trim, which I didn't even notice when I first looked at the M1 iMac. I was just so captured by its beauty. So I think we've talked enough about it. It's time to actually use this. So I'm gonna take this upstairs to my office and set it up. Oh, it's so light. Here we go. So I have everything set up and so far, so good. I'm enjoying my experience. I can't get over how light it is because before this one, I had the 27-inch iMac sitting here. And yeah, this is just a much cleaner, nicer setup. I already had a yellow and gold theme going on in my office, so this fit perfectly. So the thing I like about this is that although this is for the, you know, general consumer, so to speak, I feel like it gives them an edge that they didn't have previously. And what I mean by that is like, you might get this computer for basic use, like browsing the web, checking your email, and then decide later on you want to get into, you know, videography or photography. You don't have to invest in a new system to do so. You can definitely handle some of those things up here because you can smoothly edit in Final Cut, you know, your 4K footage, and you can even edit up to one stream of 8K footage. So like I said, a really good computer for your general consumer that allows them to take it further when and if they want to. Now, when it came to consuming media, like when I watched the video, I was okay. I noticed the white bezels, but not to the point where that's what I became fixated on, and not to the point where I would want to get rid of the whole computer because of it, because I feel like the pros of this definitely outweigh the cons. And I don't know, the white border, yeah, it might be a con to some, but for the person that I feel like this is geared towards, I don't think it's gonna be an issue. I personally like the fact that the Apple logo is removed at the bottom because it allows you to have a cleaner design and focus solely on what is on the screen and not have any logos in your, you know, field of view. I'm not a big fan though of this little black border between what's on my screen and the white bezel. It does tilt, you know, like so, forward and backward, but it does not raise up and it does not swivel. Like if you're gonna turn this, you're turning the whole computer, which is light enough definitely to do. But I do like that Apple has given us this, you know, professional build, but with fun colors. It's like a nice mix. And this yellow theme that we see here was even carried throughout the setup process and down to the wallpaper that I was greeted with when I finished setting things up. Now this video that you're watching is 4K, shot on my Sony a7S III, and it was easy enough for me to edit here on this new M1 iMac. I don't have the SD card slot, so that sucks. But I'm used to adapters anyway from the MacBook, so it is what it is. But speaking of my MacBook and the fact that I do have 2 computers, it was something I was reluctant to do. I was reluctant to have 2 hard drives to manage, but I can say something that helped with me making the decision to actually do that is to have hard drives that support my workflow. So these 2 here in my hand come from Crucial, and I mentioned these in my MacBook Pro review. So big thank you again to Crucial for sponsoring this video because yeah, these things right here have came in super handy. So I have one that I use for my photos and I have one that I use for my videos. One thing I really like about these is that they're super compact and travel friendly. So that makes it even easier when I'm carrying these with me on the go. And then when I come home and I want to switch some of the stuff that I was working on from my MacBook to my iMac, I can definitely easily do so. Now, when I realized that I was able to transfer 108 gigs of 4K footage in less than 3 minutes, yeah, I was sold. Because one thing I can't stand in using external drives is slow, transfer speed. So the fact that these are super fast makes them a necessary addition to my workflow. And even more so now with this new addition to things. Just plug and play and you're ready to go. And the cables also come with adapters in the event that I need to convert the USB-C end to a USB-A end. But I'm gonna have that link down below for you in the event that you wanna check them out, because I highly recommend that you do, especially if you're in the need of some external hard drives that are reliable and fast. But the one thing I did forget to mention is a headphone jack. We do have that along the side, and we have speakers down here at the bottom, which sound good. It's not too bass heavy. I don't personally feel the need to connect external speakers. I just would rather keep this beautiful clean setup than clutter the desk with some big bulky speakers. And then we also have a new webcam. So let's test that out a little bit. Okay, so I'm filming this on the iMac 24-inch, and this is just to test the audio and the video of the built-in camera here. But from what I'm seeing, we're in business. I think we can agree that that looks fairly good, especially compared to what we're coming from and can now use built into the computer without connecting any additional accessories like a webcam and mic. But the new M1 iMacs start at $12.99. Just keep in mind, if you go with the base model, you don't have as many color options in which you can choose from. You also then only have 2 ports, and you also lose the Ethernet port that you get on the power adapter. And you don't get Touch ID on the keyboard. So to me, for the price difference, I would honestly just go ahead and upgrade to the next tier. They start at $14.99. You get 4 ports on the back. You get Touch ID on the keyboard. You get more color options to choose from. So for the price difference, I personally feel like it's worth it. Because at the end of the day, to me, things like this are like investments. You want to stretch that amount of time out that you have to replace it. So if you go ahead and get what you need and might need later, then it puts you in a better position. That's just my little 2 cents, That's how I at least purchase things. But the nice thing about the M1 chips is I feel like it allows you to focus more on the form factor or the device in which you need versus the specs. But yeah, I think the iMac is great for those that want a more stationary setup, of course, that, doesn't plan on taking it with them anywhere and just kind of needs the intro into the Mac lineup. It's still something that's gonna have phenomenal performance that will get them through, their everyday tasks and then some. But yeah, I feel like that's gonna do it, y'all. I don't wanna dive too deep into talking about this in this video. These are just my initial impressions, but I will be back with an actual review of it after using it for a while and let you know my thoughts. But I'm gonna throw some videos on screen now that you might wanna check out. And until the next one, y'all, as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.